welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to learn the empirical formula. So as we have discussed earlier, that empirical formula tells the uh, whole number ratio, or the simplest ratio between the atoms. So the empirical formula would have four basic steps which we need to follow, and I'll let you know what are those four steps. First of all, we'll go through the general introduction of this one, that how do we get the empirical formula. Like if you are given with some type of compound, how you are going to calculate the chemical formula. All of you must know that we have medicines, drugs, so we should know what type of compound it contains. So the empirical formula can be found by combustion analysis. Now, what is combustion analysis? There is we burn it in an instrument, and then we get the percentage of hydrogen and carbon dioxide that is produced, and then we get the calculation one, the peaks, and then we get the chemical formula. So hydrocarbons burn in oxygen and produce water and carbon dioxide. What is combustion analysis? It is a process of burning an organic compounds in oxygen to produce energy, carbon dioxide, and water vapors. So we are going to learn about this. So in combustion analysis, a sample of known mass is basically combusted, or you can say oxygen is allowed to react, and we then find the weight of carbon dioxide that is produced and how much water is produced. You must know the law of conservation of mass, that mass is either lost or gain, it just changes form. So the relative amount of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen is determined from the masses of the masses of the products of combustion reaction. Uh, so if we continue with one of the example, we can go with an example in which how much carbon dioxide is produced or how many hydrogen is produced. So if we talk about these general steps, there are four steps. First of all, you have to write the mass, whatever the mass you gain. You get from the combustion analysis, what is the percentage? Whatever the percentage would be mass. So for example, if the question says that it has this much of hydrogen, this much of carbon or hydrogen, that percentage is actually considered as mass. So or if carbon dioxide or hydrogen is given, so water is given, so mass would be already given, you just need to use that mass. Let's go to question number one, related to empirical formula, how we can make empirical formula. So here we have some values. So the question says that after burning 1.33 grams of hydrocarbon, this is the mass of hydrocarbon. So we have combustion analysis, and that combustion analysis says that we get 1.410 grams of water, and we have 4.305 grams of carbon dioxide. So this is the information that we require to solve our numerical. So let's solve it. Here we have, let's say, write the mass. So your very first step should be writing the mass. Let's write the mass of hydrogen, and write the mass of carbon. Uh, so we say that masses of carbon dioxide and water, because we have to find the mass of hydrocarbon, where we need only carbon and only hydrogen. Oxygen is not going to include. So let's write their masses. For carbon dioxide we have 4.305, and for water we have 1.410. Now the second step is we have to find the moles. Now the formula of moles is the given mass divided by the molar mass. The molar mass of carbon dioxide, just calculate on the side, it's 1 carbon and 2 oxygen, means 12. 2 into oxygen is 32, it would be 44 gram per mole. So we divide this number 4.305 with 44, and you need to use the calculator to get the correct answer. And 1.410 with 18, because 16 and hydrogen is 1, so 1 into 2 is 2. 2 plus 16 is 18. So when we divide them, we'll get the answer. So you get the answer when we divide this one, you get almost 0.09782. We will consider it as 0.1, and here we get an answer of 0.1565, and we will consider it approximately equal to 0.16. Let's just write their values. It would be, sorry, it would be equal to 0.16, it would be equal to 0.1. Now we will proceed with this value. Now we are done with two steps. The step number 3 would be, we have to divide them with the smallest number of whatever you get it. For example, if you are getting, which is smallest, 0.1 or 0.16, so you have to divide it with that number, whatever you consider is the smallest one. So 0.1 is the smallest one, so you just divide both numbers with 0.1. So let's divide it in the other step and then write it. So here we are dividing both with 0.10 and 0.10. So the answer would be 1.6 and 1. So this is your hydrogen and this is your carbon. Now the simple thing is, you can, this is not a whole number, we need a whole number. So in the next step, when we need to calculate the whole number, there are simple techniques. For example, if you are getting 0.2 in the answer, you can multiply it with 5 to make it a whole number. If you are getting 0.3, then you can multiply it with 0.3 to get the whole number. If it's 4, you can multiply it with 5 to get the whole simplest whole number. If there is 5, you can multiply it with 2. Like if it's 1.5, then you are going to multiply these both numbers with 2 to get the whole number. But here we have 0.6, so we have to multiply it with 5. So when you multiply with this 1.6 and 5, it becomes 8, and this become 5. So your final formula will be C5H8. This is the simplest one. You can just simply write what simple technique you can use. For example, as I've told you, if it's 0.2, multiply it with 5. If it's 0.3, multiply it with 3. If it's 0.4, multiply it with 5. If it's 0.5, multiply it with 2. If it's 0.6, multiply it with 5. It's 0.7, then multiply it with 3. And if it's 0.8, multiply it with 5. And simple thing. So here you can simply multiply it with 5 because we have 0.6. So our formula becomes C5H8. This is a simple one. But if you want to follow the complex one is just like this, that you have to divide both, and then you'll get the value. When you divide both, it becomes 16 by 10, and when you are going to um, simplify, it becomes 16 by 10. Simplified, it becomes 8 by 5, so 8 hydrogen and 5 carbon. But this is quite confusing. So the first one which I taught you is easier one. Try to learn that one, and it will really help you. Now, if you want to learn the molecular formula, how to find the molecular formula or the molecular mass, you need to get to the other video. I'll explain this topic in the next one. Do practice empirical formula 1 and tell me whether you are able to get it with the 4 simple steps. Again, I'm repeating in the end, what are the 4 simple steps? Number 1, you have to find the moles. Number 2, you have to find the the divide it with the smallest number of moles. Step number 3 is you need to find the whole number, and this whole number you can use a simple formula that how you can follow this one. Simple. If it's 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, how to simplify it. If it's 0.1, then it would be like you can simply round it off. If it's 0.9, you can simply round it off. There is no need to go into the details. And do practices and tell me whether you're able to do it. We'll meet in the next video with molecular math.